Hello, guys. So, I don't think I have much for you today. You know, I know it defeats the purpose of starting a video like that, but I like to be honest. So, full disclaimer, I always say I'll end it quick. I think this time I'll actually manage to do that. Or will I? Well, I'm telling you, there's no big blockbuster news. Yeah, well, you know what? One of them is actually very interesting, and you'll be happy to see it. So, you guys, this is funny, man. I saw this one. It's not in Quebec. It's police of Kingston in Ontario. And the story goes like this. I read it in advance. Some guy got into an argument. He's in a hotel. He's renting a room. And he gets into an argument with those people that manage the hotel. And he makes a big fuss out of it. Now, what was that argument that was so important? They asked him to leave, and he made a fuss, and they had to call the cops. And when the cops got there, they got to his chicken, his meal, and guess what he had hidden inside of that meal? You guessed it. He had 46 G's of Fenty, 10.8 grams of cane, 25 grams of M&Ms and crystals. Crazy, huh? And I don't know if it's like a last minute thing. I'm wondering if they were barging into his room. He panicked, and that was the place he thought he could hide it when the cops arrived, and he stuffed it in the kitchen and the chickens. Because the thing is, they did say they opened up his food and they found it hidden in there. So I thought that was a real funny story. The guy's 44, and here are some pictures. That's, I guess, how they found it. They found it like this. Was this a last minute stuffing? No pun intended, but is this a last minute stuffing, do you think? Or did he really carry his belongings like this? And even more importantly, was it wise to make a scene and get into an argument? Plus, I think they even caught him with tools on him. You know, the fire tools. So was it really worth? Should you really be doing that when you're carrying so much you don't want to be caught with? It's crazy, man. Some people don't think. Some people really don't think, man. What's up, Chris? How are you, buddy? Next one, we come back to Montreal in Lachine, in the southwest area, and 5 a.m. on Camille Street, close to Avenue Saint-Pierre. Looks like somebody, somebody did get touched. So somebody got touched by the fire tool. Something happened. They sprayed rounds. They're saying that the suspects implicated in this event would have fled on board of the vehicle before the cops arrived. Well, we don't have much information. It sounds like the classical, they came here to do a job thing. Of course, we can't really say if it was for a job or just they came back for revenge. Maybe it was a personal thing unrelated to the underworld. But the police discovered a 28-year-old that went to the hospital with those injuries. And a 44-year-old man was equally hurt on the torso, it says. And he was localized in the hospital. Then the two are not in danger. They're going to survive. So what was this about? We just read about it, mention it, because I don't want in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks we read another article and they talk about something that happened 2 weeks before that, which is today, and something in Lachine, and then we'd have absolutely no idea, and it would look like we skipped this. So just putting it out there, as it paid off before doing this. Next one, looks like we had what do you call those? I did glance at this one, so I know what it's about. It looks like we had a breaking and entering and keeping somebody hostage. So you recall that pattern that repeats itself in Quebec City, and the outer limits of that town, its neighborhoods, things like that, which we coined the red zone. And yes, you figured it out. This is the red zone. and they arrested 7 individuals because of more breaking, entering, and keeping people hostage. See if we could grab anything else. This is Monday the 21st, should be today, that this article was published. They're saying that 2 women and 5 men aged between 20 to 42 were arrested in a residence in Quebec Sunday for these charges. They're saying that at 10:12 p.m., authorities were called to go investigate or to go to a scene of a home in Charlesbourg. So that's one of the red zone areas. So it's checking out, it's not just some random thing. Because, there's going to be breaking and entering, rarely for stuff that's not related to BFM and all that. But, when you see there's like 7 people involved here, it's the breaking and entering inside of the red zone, in the heat of the beefs going on and all that, you could sort of assume this might probably be that stuff. 5 of them were already liberated, and 2 of them will appear in the courthouse Monday. Okay. So just putting this one out there too. We're eventually going to get names and why and how, perhaps. Next one. This one is not related. Just putting you in the mood first. But you'll see why. Well, maybe you will. Here we have, this is Querouac Street. It's in Ville Saint-Laurent, that neighborhood where there's those fires all the time, vehicles burning. And this would be like one of their most important streets in Saint-Laurent. It's like, there's nightlife. Sometimes certain streets are always sort of awake. There's always going to be people there. It's that kind of street. And it connects directly to the highway, one of the most important highway in Montreal City, at least top 2 or 3. But I'd say it's the most important. It connects directly to this street. Hopefully I'm not mixing things up. I seem to recall it does. I haven't taken it in a while, but I'm pretty certain of this. It has to be. Descaries, and it goes on, was it the 15th, right? Anyways, at night, so the cops arrived. Some guy, I think he was shanked or something, and I don't know, man. They found somebody on the floor here, and they came to pick him up. Then they found out that there was an argument on the 2nd floor. And we don't have more information than this. That was this is a little bit older, 17th of April. Now, what interests me is after this story, now that the mood is set, they're saying that was not the only thing that may have happened. Now, I don't want to, on Thursday. So that was the Thursday night. There was Thursday night of action. The next one's interesting for me. Look at this one. Rounds being let off on Dante Street. They received a call for 911 at 6 in the morning. I guess they're saying it's 6 in the morning. 6 a.m. Yeah, that's it. 6 a.m. Thursday, after rounds were let off, and earlier in that evening, in Little Italy. And that looks like a business. And I think I could see the cracks here. You see the cracks here? See that crack? And that looks like a store to me. And I doubt 2 people were. There was a battle going on the street, and this was just an accident. I think it's more along the lines of they may have tried to extort this Little Italy place. That is in Little Italy, and now today they're coming to deliver on those threats to pay up. What do you think? They found the shells on the floor. You know, the classic. Cops taking pictures of it. A commercial. That's it. Yeah, man. So that's a new for us. I do not believe I've ever covered, at least in the last 2 years, I do not believe I've ever covered a story of them popping a restaurant or a store inside of Little Italy. We did have a pizzeria owned by an Italian guy, but that was in downtown, if you remember. But then we found out there was like this extortion wave happening in downtown. Remember, not too far from where they allegedly saying that Arab Power ordered the fire of that building far enough, but not too far. It's in the downtown vicinity. Maybe say no more, maybe 5 minutes if there's no traffic. Maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes driving, you're almost there. Because there's street lights and stuff, you know. If you remove the street lights, it would be 5 minutes, 5 or 6. But they were extorting the pizzerias in that area, and that's the only time we had really covered, me and you, Italian business being extorted. I'm not saying it doesn't happen or it's not happening. I'm just saying that we had the chance that they wrote an article about. So now we're having one in Little Italy. The only other event we had in Little Italy, I cannot recall. I think it was related to street gang. I don't remember the story of that one at all. But I do remember there was another one in Little Italy, maybe less than 2 years ago. Some guy got professional hit or something. Some dude got, they found a man dead in his vehicle. He was finished right there inside of his car. They found him. That's the only one that comes to mind, and it was underworld hit. But it doesn't come up very often these days. Well, at least we're for the sources we check. And all right, last story. So I told you, today's gonna be short. We're already there. Last story, guys. What's up, Sheriff? How are you, buddy? So last story, guys. This one's the main one. Armed aggression in Quebec. A Hell's Angels injured by what is probably a shank inside of a transitional home. So a transitional home, you know, when people go to prison, I hate calling them like convicts, bad guys. I don't want to even call people that. Some people are born poor. Some people they never had a chance in life. Or some people they're desperate. Other people they didn't know any better. Everyone can make a mistake and land in there, you know. So I don't even like to say that. Plus, then I don't like to condemn people for life. Like, oh, you're bad forever. Like, no, man. You know, society's way too harsh. If the guy stole something, if the guy sold some stupid fires, like they're way too harsh. You know, like if he didn't off someone, he didn't off someone like multiple times. He's not doing anything like that. Like he deserves a little bit more respect than this, man. You know, we're too quick to throw people away. But that place, you know, they release them after prison, and sometimes they need to be surveilled. They can't just go back to I don't know, their brother's house. Remember, they usually don't have their apartments anymore, right? You get released, you go to your mother's house, your father, your uncle, your grandmother, maybe your brother. You gotta go somewhere. Some people, they're homeless, man. Imagine being homeless minus 22 Celsius in Montreal, man. It's really horrible, man. But yeah, we should have money to help people like this. You know, no question. And we do. It's just that it's being shipped away and spent on all the other wars across the world. That's the priority. I won't name which countries. But here you have someone who was released from prison going inside of a transitional home. Transitional home where they wait. By the way, Gregory Woolley, when he was released, I don't quote me on the years. It's by this point you see there's just too many stories I cover. It's impossible to tell you. I just know the major arrest was in 2014-15. Was it November 14, 2014? Eventually he got released. I don't remember when. I'm going to give a date. It's probably wrong. Probably very wrong, but I'm thinking it was 2019 when he went inside of a transitional home. Could be completely wrong with the date here. But he did go. Gregory Woolley. He went to a transitional home. He had to stay there himself. We have another Hell's Angel. I think Casper. His nickname's Casper. I think he went to a transitional home. Now today's story is telling us there was a Hell's Angel got whooped, hurt, shanked inside of a transitional home. Da da da. What is that about? So this is the transitional home, I guess. There's many rooms for different people. This is Friday the 18th of April. A Hell's Angel of the Trois-Rivières chapter was injured by multiple hits of a scissors during an altercation in a transitional home in the neighborhood of Saint-Sauveur Friday afternoon. So they call the amble. I'm afraid of saying the word. Even that's gonna get me dinged. They'll need to have human intervention to verify that I didn't show anything. But the amble, it came in. It happened around 2:30 is when they arrived. And they said there was a fight between two individuals. And it happened inside of this place. They say that the police converged here, and then they chased someone on foot who was fleeing. So that other person who probably did it is the person fleeing. They were finally able to capture the man who was 33 years old, a couple of streets further. The question becomes, probably it's the way it sounds here, it doesn't sound like, you would think, BFM, they sent somebody in that transitional home to finish him or something. They won't finish him with a scissors, So that sounds more like somebody else was living there with the Hell's Angel. Who is this Hell's Angel? And the 57-year-old man was the Hell's Angel was transferred to a hospital. They're not giving us the state of his health or anything. They cannot. A known name. According to TVA Nouvelle, another newspaper or news agency in Quebec, the person would be, the Hell's Angel, is Claude Gauthier from the Trois-Rivières chapter. I guess that's him right there. The information that they gathered by Le Journal. Le Journal is this newspaper that we are reading right now. Okay? So the information gathered by this newspaper alludes or makes us believe that this last one, this man right here, would have been attacked by hits of a scissors by another resident. This aggression would not be linked to the wars that are delivering each other different criminal groups, like the street gangs from Quebec City, for example. So, yes, we could have figured that out, as we did, you and me. And evening, Daniel Gould, Anthony Serrano. How are you, buddy? How are you, pal? And Marcel Mathers. What's up, buddy? Halfway House. Thank you, Halfway House. N says, Triple N says. Says, what's up, bro? Any thoughts on where Robbie Al-Khalil is? Shoot, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm always honest, but I have no freaking clue, buddy. I got no clue. That's such a good question. Such a good question. Here's where I don't think he should be. I could tell you this. Where he should not. He should not be in Canada anymore. It's probably not. He should not be in the USA, obvious. He should not be in Italy, as we saw Picturmel and all that. It gives you an idea. If they want you, they can get you there. He should not be in Portugal. Should not be in Spain. I would avoid Germany. I would avoid those big ones. Now, here's where I got a better idea now. Here's where he could be. I think he could be. It would be a smarter idea, but maybe I'm mistaken. It would be though that other place where all these big criminals go as a refuge. It's the one. It's so corrupted over there. One could be Mexico, but that's not the one I had in mind. The other one would be that Arab place. Like I'm not sure of the name because I forgot it. Now I'm gonna mix it between 2 or 3 names. It's one of these. It was Dubai. That's what I wanted. He's Dubai. There you go. It's gonna be something like probably Dubai. That's where tons of gang bosses go to hide, buy properties, launder their money. Seems like everything's permissible over there. You had the UN gangsters hiding over there. vacationing there like it's no man's land. I think Dubai. That's it. And exactly. I think that would be a smarter choice. But I have to triple, quadruple check that. I'm saying that because I think that's a safe place. Because I don't know, maybe it changed. Maybe they're strict nowadays. But at a certain point, that was the place to be. And that's where gang leaders might meet other gang leaders from other international. Say say they want to. Let me just give you an example here. Let's say high level gangsters here, maybe what do you call them, the Damian Ryans type. If they need to speak directly, if they need to see someone, they might go and take a. How did this happen? Sorry, they might take a plane to Dubai to go meet, say, a representative of the Kinahan cartel. Now, I don't remember the Kinahan guy, if he's still on the run, one of the leaders. I'm not sure anymore. But if that guy's hiding, he's maybe hiding over there. So it's a good spot for them to meet. You got Zindashti that has henchmen over there, or himself flew there. I don't know if he's arrested now or if he's still on the run. I don't remember. But for sure he would be going there. So that's the hub of all these people to go. It will be a great place for Rabbi to go to. Now, if Rabbi never wants to be caught ever again, if he wants to be safe, 100%, zero chance he'll ever get caught. But I don't know how you pull that off because of the ID thing. He should go to Iran. He should go to Iran and live his life there forever. It's just he's going to lose certain freedoms. He's not going to be able to do everything he wants. He won't be able to buy those luxury goods. He's going to have to make do with what Iran has to offer. But over there, he would be safe. You just need to have a very good ID and not raise any suspicion from the government over there of being a spy or something like that. Because that would be the end of you. And I don't think they're just going to ignore a criminal going there. I think they take it kind of serious, bro. So you don't want to be a criminal in an Islamic country or like that. But if you manage to go there with a good ID and it's undetectable, etc., he could live forever over there. But these guys, I don't know. I'm 100% he's not doing that. 100% sure he's not doing that. That would be it would ask too much for him to lower his standards of living. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, man, let's see what we got here. So we were back at the Hells Angel. Who is he? They're going to give us a background. We're going to learn something. So Three River chapter man got stabbed. He's a Hells Angel from the Three River chapter. He probably got released from prison into a halfway house. And I don't know what happened, but he got into it with a 30-year-old other resident there. That resident shanked him. Then he ran away, and the cops arrived. They chased him by foot, I guess, and they tackled him or something, and they arrested the other person. Now they're telling us, who is Claude Gauthier? Here you go. It says, let us remind our viewers that Gauthier was arrested in April of 2019 after an investigation baptized HURC. Now, I don't know what HURC means, but I like the sound of it. Led by the National Squad of Repression Against Crime, which is run by the SQ, which I like to say like a joke. It's like our mini FBI, like the Quebec's little mini FBI, you know? Just for American viewers to have an idea, you know? It's not just like a local police department. That's not it. This is serious business when it's these guys. This last one, him, the Hells Angel, was purging a sentence of 9 years for having directed a network of traffickers in the area of Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu. The network, of which he was the head, was moving approximately 3 kilos of cane per month. I was expecting a bit more than this. 3 kilos of cane per month. You know, because he's being beat hard by street gangs, as we have reported that he would be beaten very hard economically by street gangs in Montreal North, like Pitira, you know. who definitely moved way more than this. Way more than this. Something's off here. Something is not right. They didn't. Something's not right here. I'm sure he did something. This number can't be right. He's got to have. Maybe they didn't figure out his whole network. They just cut a sub branch, and it was worth this much. In 2003, Gauthier had gotten 30 months. Okay, so earlier than that. So the last one was 2019. He got 9 years for that, for 3 kilos of cane per month. We got that good. Now, before even 2019, 16 years before that, Gauthier had gotten a sentence of 30 months that time after another operation called osmosis or osmose. Which had rocked the Jokers. It's a biker school, underling of the Hells Angels, I guess, in Saint-Jean, which he was the godfather. Which the Hells Angels... Wait a second. That he was godfathering. Now, I don't know if he was the Hells Angels back then, or he was one of the leaders of the Jokers. I'm not sure which one it is, but it's got to be one or the other. But 2003, he was arrested. Another operation against stupefiers called osmosis, and it involved or implicated, at the very least, the Jokers of Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, which is the same territory, same area. He was arrested for another charge 16 years later for stupefire trafficking, which he got 9 years, the more recent one. And then he got released. Recently, he went to that halfway house where he got shanked. So they did a good so how you say, summary or a trail. Where are we now? His nickname, I guess this is it. The man who we also call Gros Claude, or Big Claude, if you will, or Fat Claude. Claude is the nickname. It's like how you say, like your name's Eric. Your name's Eric, his name's Tim, whatever, your real name. That's what they call him, Fat Claude. His real name's Claude, I guess. I don't remember his real name. I already forgot it. I just know his last name. Yeah, there you go. Claude Gauthier. Yeah, just to be certain. So they call him Fat Claude. So the person we also call Fat Claude had also been once upon a time on the run for numerous years, and had been once featured on the billboards of the top 10 criminals, the most wanted in Quebec. Crazy, man. At that moment, he was the object of 29 chiefs of accusations for the following: offings, plotting the offings, trafficking stupefires, and gangsterism. Now, the investigation continues. Yeah, they're talking about the new one, this here. Why did he get shanked? What's going on? They did a perimeter of security. They're looking for whatever evidence they can get. So far, there's no story to this, and it doesn't look serious. This is not a hit. This is not something like that. It's just another resident. Although they're not saying it 100%, but they did mention it's probably that themselves. And it makes sense. A professional hit didn't come with a scissors, bro. So, yeah, it's not that serious, but how can I say it? It's not every decade that you read a story of a Hell's Angel. Basically, people are not that scared anymore. And I'm not trying to tell them you need to become scary or anything like that. No. And I'm not trying to make fun or diminish. I'm just saying it's not every decade that you hear this even once. That, a Hell's Angel got slapped or something like this. This is along lines of that happening. This looks like someone didn't give a F. It looks like more and more these last few years, more and more people don't give an F anymore. But that's just my observation, Doesn't mean it's reality. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe, it's just from my perception reading all of this, and just like I could be wrong completely, That's what I get, the impression, the sense that I'm getting with all the news articles. BFM here, BFM there, Arab power here, kids going there and doing the mission, and then transitional home. They argued over the mayonnaise. Where to put the mayonnaise, or what channel the TV was on. Remember, on this transitional home, something probably really stupid. And he was not having it. He didn't give a F if it's a Hell's Angel or not. But there once upon a time, he would give an F. Once upon a time. I promise you. But maybe, yeah. Anyways, let's see what you guys are saying. Catch up. Oh yeah, look, Triple N says, "What's up, Triple N?" It's like, I'm not sure. I think it's the first time I see you here. Great, welcome, dude. I'm liking the spirit, but I'm just gonna read them in order so I don't miss anyone. He says, Martin Bilodeau, "What's up, buddy? Thank you. How are you, buddy?" Triple N says, "I went to high school with Robbie. He poked a dude with an X-Acto knife. He was a nutcase even then." Really? That's hilarious. Rabbi, if you're listening, we hope to hear a bunch of your stories, bud. You're an intriguing fellow, man. But here you go, you got your friend here. I hope, Rabbi, at least if you're watching it, enjoying it with your Pino Colada right now, you could remember your childhood friend here, and you could have a little bit of a laugh. Then we got Max the Youth. "What's up, friend? How are you, bro?" He says, "I think Dubai time have passed a bit. The authorities don't want this as a reputation for Dubai." Thank you. That's it, man. I have no clue at all, but I wanted to hear something like this, because that's what I told you. I need to research again, get an idea, but how do you really research that, So that's perfect. Thank you for. I'm not crazy, right? But that was it for a while. That was it. But yeah, Kinahan were over there. That's what I heard as well. Too many of them are over there, bro. That Turkish or Iranian stupefier lord Zindashti was over there. You can bet Damien Ryan or his friends over there. What do you call it? The Vancouver street gangs. What do you call those? My memory's so bad. How could I forget? What do you call those guys, man? Frick. I remember Bebo, but that's not who I wanted. They're enemies. Not the Red Scorpions. The other one. Brothers Keepers. I know Brothers Keepers flying over there. I know United Nations definitely slice all those for sure. You got Kinahan and Sinaloa cartel for damn 100% sure. You can bet the cartel Jalisco is over there too. It's crazy, man. What are we? It says Pakistan is all good. Pure nature over there. He was on the run. This guy, I'm not sure who we're talking about anymore. I think am I trying to Kinahan. You're probably talking about Kinahan, right? I'm not too sure anymore. "I'm trying to up my standard of living," says T-Bone Slim. Yeah, it's tough, huh, with these inflations. Yeah, on the run, I don't think it's an option. Michael Ladouceur says killer whale. Not sure what we're talking about. Sorry, guys. That's the problem when I don't read the chat immediately, and then if I read it 5 minutes later, I'm often lost. T-Bone Canada FBI for the SQ Sûreté du Québec. He says, "Man, it's kinda just Quebec Provincial Police. I knew he was on the run. I remember him. I'm not sure. Not sure who we're talking about. CN Canada FBI is CSIS. Well, I'm not. You guys know what I mean. Like, what do you call it? The RCMP is like RFBI. The major crimes, big things like that. You guys know exactly what I'm saying. SQ is is the Quebec's like higher level cops basically. But local police is for like crimes and smaller crimes. I think for bigger investigation, they'll pass it on to the SQ or RCMP, that type of thing. Pope died. Yes, I heard. It's crazy. And it was the Easter, and it was Easter like a few days ago, and he dies the day after that. It's crazy. The wealth chaser. Well, yeah, that also. Oh, Zachary, what's up, buddy? Sorry, I was scrolling down and I just completely skipped through a bunch of messages. He's the same as Pelletier, I'm guessing. Same era. Not sure. They lost the juice, most likely. Wealth Chaser says, but someone on the Bolo list tried to come back to Canada from somewhere, and they got told while sitting on the plane by the boarding agents that his passport was reported stolen, and walked him out of the... I don't know, this sentence didn't end. I wonder who that guy is. But he continues, I guess at some point they are going to realize who they let go. I just wonder if it will make the news. Some real info I got. Just remember, if it does make the news, you heard it from here. Crazy. That's freaking crazy. Yeah, if we ever read a story, it comes out, we read a story about something like this, about someone boarding a plane and someone who's on the Bolo list, and then he gets told that his passport was stolen by the boarding agents, I'll remember you. That'll be crazy. Because it didn't come out yet. There doesn't even seem to be an arrest. So I don't know if it's some guy who's on the run right now is what you're telling me, and they almost caught him, your friend, and your friend told you about it. That would be nuts. Because when that'll come in the news after and they ever mention something like that, I'll remember someone on this chat told us. You know, that would be epic. That would be epic indeed. Is Trump connected with the Hells Angels? I've never thought about this or never heard anything so far. It never even crossed my mind. Will Hildebrand says Wolfpack. Max the Youth says RCMP is Canada-wide. We had local police here before, but it's the SQ now. You got Quebec Police. What do you call it? Police of Quebec. That's the local police, right? Or you don't have... Because I remember seeing in the news articles SPVQ, Service de Police of Quebec. So there's a Service de Police de Quebec is for the town, right? For the city. And then you have SQ, I guess, for the entire province, if I understand correctly. And then you got RCMP for the entire country. But I've noticed the Quebec ones, usually it's just SQ that does... most of the crime we're hearing, like the major crimes in Quebec that we're covering, it's always the SQ. Rarely I hear RCMP in there when it's Quebec stories on. Something I just realized. Yeah, only Quebec City like Montreal. Oh, okay, gotcha. So the other towns, let's say Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, they don't have. That's pretty interesting. Unless you go and you actually pay attention, you won't even notice. I don't know what towns still have. Damn, that's crazy. I would have thought it's something to notice. I would have thought like if you go to Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, there would be like a comment on appelle ça? Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu Police Department. Like SPVQ, like SPVM Montreal. I would have thought that. So are you telling me, because I have no clue, are you telling me if I go to Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, the cop patrol cars I'm going to see driving around are going to be SQ cars? Is that what you're telling me? Cause I don't know. I'm asking you. It's pretty freaking... I can't believe I never realized this. I don't know what towns still have local police. That's crazy. I had no idea. Really, man. That's pretty cool. I didn't know this. I'm late, man. That's what happens when you've lived Montreal your whole life. That's what happens. But anyways, I'm gonna end this video here. So the video ended a while ago. This is just the chat hanging out. The video did end at 30 minutes. That's where we finished the topics. So yeah, today's video was shorter than before, if you discounted the conversations at the end of me reading the chat. I have a long list of towns with local police service. Only the big municipalities have municipal police force. The rest pay the SQ. Thank you. That's it. I needed to be 100% sure, clear. Thank you, guys. Okay, man. All right, man. So it's really only the big major town like Montreal, Laval, Quebec City, maybe one or two others, which I don't know, does not come to mind right now. Those are the ones that have their like local police, what you call like local police department type. Each one have their names, right? They have like their names, like Laval Police, Quebec City Police, Montreal Police. But except those big major ones, everything else, almost everything else, I would go there, and I would notice it would be an SQ car driving around me, giving the tickets. An SQ car stopping and arresting someone. Sûreté du Québec. I didn't know that, man. I didn't know that. Now it makes a lot more sense to think about. Lévis as well, right? So he says he's giving me the names. He says, here's the ones that actually have the names. They have local police with their names, right? Not the SQ, just SQ does everything else, but except these towns. And he's naming to me, he says, Laval, Granby, Gatineau, Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, Shawinigan, Lévis, Sherbrooke, and Terrebonne. These ones, it's going to be, each one they have their own specific names for the towns. That's pretty cool. And all the other ones, it's just going to be Sûreté du Québec. Thanks, bud. Now I understand what you were trying to tell me. It makes sense now. Got it. I always thought, okay, that's the major one where it can go everywhere. It's the more powerful of all. Like, it's over the local ones. It's stronger than all of them. You know, it does those type of investigations. Now it makes sense. It's just doing the jobs the other ones are not doing for other places. That's it, pretty much. Got it. Makes sense now. So it's not at all Quebec FBI or type of thing. That's more. So we just got the RCMP. We only have the RCMP. That would be comparable. Or our friend who said CSIS. I'm not sure what that is, but I'll take his word for it. CSIS. It says, if a city doesn't have sidewalks, they can't afford to pay a police force. Gotcha. See what you mean there. Are gang wars racial wars at that point? I don't think so. I don't see it. Because there's got all sorts of races in these street gangs. Okay, I'm sure Arab Power has black guys in it. I'm sure if you look at Jean-Philippe Celestin's buddies, one of them is going to be Italian, one of them is going to be Arab in there. I'm sure it's mixed. If you look at the Bloods, I'm sure you'll find an Asian dude in there. For sure, obviously, you'll find a Haitian guy in there. I'm sure you'll find an Arab guy in there, you know. So that would make it's not really racial at all. In the sense that I think you're asking. Pretty. Some cities HA are more equipped than police stations. That I believe that, you know, because some towns are very small, remote. It makes sense that would be the case. Hell's Angels are white, 21 plus. Right, you're right. Except Hell's Angels, because I thought you said you said gang wars. I guess, yeah. I thought I read street gangs. That's why I thought so. But yeah, if you want to say gangs in general, like if you consider the bikers gangs, yes, that's in that case, that's true. It's racial, and for the bikers in Quebec. in Quebec, because I don't think in British Columbia I saw evidence of the contrary. Probably in Ontario, evidence of the contrary too. Italian mobster, your father has to be Italian. Right. Right. For their inner core, for sure. For sure. But they've been working with so many different people that I have kept close to them, like Gregory Woolley. I'm sure he was part of inner circle of some of the leaders. Wasn't an Italian mafia member, but he was so friendly, so close with them. They're not isolated, from what I saw. But yeah, the upper echelon. Exactly. You can't be a leader. That's it. You can't be a leader if you're not, for sure. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna cut this video here. I'm getting brain fog. But yeah, have a great one, guys. Thank you for joining in and trying to explain to me the police department stuff, how it works, and being patiently and all that. I really appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot, guys, for hanging out. And yeah, man, I'll give you guys a shout out. Let me just look at the names. Chris Hinsley, thank you, buddy. Sheriff, thank you, pal. Triple N, welcome, buddy. Good to have you with us. With Marcel Mathers, what's up, Marcel? Anthony Serrano, what's up, buddy? It's been a while, bro. Daniel Gould, long time you've been here with us, bro. I appreciate you. Martin Bilodeau, also, what's up, pal? Max the Youth as well. He's the one who's been teaching me about what do you call it? The SQ is, what SQ is not. Because I know you guys can't see the chat. Right now you shouldn't be able to see it. It's not on the screen. I'd love to pop it on the screen, guys. Problem is then anyone can come and start putting F-bombs, which I don't mind. But it's just, then YouTube's gonna flag my channel. So I can't even, so you understand? And we've had that a few times happening when people were coming and cussing out. I don't care personally. It's just because of that part. Yeah, Max the Youth, thank you, buddy. Gagnon Alain, what's up, pal? T-Bone Slim, what up, buddy? Michael La Douceur, what's up, buddy? And Zachary Mitchell as well. How are you, pal? The Wealth Chaser, how you doing, buddy? Did I see it already? No, you're thinking I'm on. I didn't, not yet. We got Wealth Chaser and Melançon as well. Melançon, thank you for joining the discussion, asking good questions too. Stuff that you probably know the answer to, but you just wanted to have other people's inputs. So and to create a discussion. I appreciate that. And Will Hildebrand as well. Will Hildebrand. Did I say Zachary Mitchell yet? I don't think I did. Zachary Mitchell, what's up, buddy? And I think I covered Marcel Mathers. In case I didn't miss you, and Marcel Mathers. Marcel Mathers, I mean. Thanks a lot, guys. Real happy to have you guys. Have coffee and remember the vape. Yeah, dude, I didn't smoke. I started smoking again. That's my hardest vice, bro. It's only been a week I stopped. But I'd rather vape, but then the vape, I have to go buy the device. It's a big investment, when you're trying to quit. It's hard pill to swallow to go buy a vape, to just vape for a few days and quit again, Buy the vape, buy the juice, and after that, I'm out to $150 to buy the juice, the vape, the coils, and then I'm trying to quit again, So, yeah, when I crack, I buy a pack of smokes, bro. Right now, I'm at 1 week. But, man, it's the hardest thing ever, man. Every time I drink a coffee in the morning, it's just right to have it with a smoke. Unfortunately. It's one of those guilty sins. I'm not trying to... I keep quitting for multiple months, going back, and then it's tough, man. Oh, yeah, that's it. And the silent punch at the end, Always, man. You too, pal. Like right now, there's about maybe 10 other silent people in here. Never say a word. You never, ever say anything. I kind of appreciate that, pal. It's good to have you, man. You wise fellow. You smart. You a smart man. He's always the silent guy, who's the most dangerous. Often the wise guy, He's just too smart to say anything stupid. He's a thinker. You're a thinker, bro. I know you. And shout out to Kevin G, William Lenark, and Aggressive Bat 34. Thank you guys. Have a great one, guys. Thank you.